Hi, my name is Olaide Banks with Ngwolo and Banks, and today I want to share with you briefly on this topic of entity selection. And so if you're starting a new business, one of the big considerations that you have early on is what form of entity am I going to use? And I think there are four major considerations that you want to consider. One is limiting your personal liability in the entity. Another consideration is minimizing your tax burden. The third consideration would be your ability to raise capital, and finally your ability to accommodate diverse equity holders. Now, the simplest form of entity is, of course, the sole proprietorship. So that's when you go out and do it all on your own. Sole proprietorship has unlimited personal liability, and so that's a major drawback. One benefit is that you don't have this double taxation, as it's called. You don't have that double taxation. But obviously there are a few benefits in raising capital, because if you want to raise money to do your business, you either have to have the funds personally, you have to go to a bank, or you have to borrow the money from someone else, and that's not a great way to do it. And then one drawback in terms of diversity of equity holders is that you can only have one owner, and that's yourself. With a partnership, you also have unlimited personal liability, unless you have one of the limited liability partnerships or an LP. You don't have the double taxation that we spoke about before, and you have more of an ability to raise capital than you would have with a sole proprietorship, and obviously you can have more than one owner. With corporations, one of the huge benefits is you have limited personal liability. Okay, if you follow the rules, then someone from the outside, unless they pierce the corporate veil, can't go after you personally for liabilities of the corporation. You do have the potential of double taxation. There are what are called S corps, which are different than C corps. C corps definitely have that double taxation mechanism built in, or so it's called. But S corps have the ability to pass through the earnings, and so it's only taxed on one occasion. Now you have the ability to have many owners, unlimited owners for a C corp, whereas an S corp has a limit on the total number of owners or equity holders in the organization. However, with an S corp, you're limited in terms of diversity. You can't have non-resident aliens as owners or equity holders in the S corp. Now, LLCs, and this is one of the common ones. Sometimes people come to the office, they say, hey, I need you to set up an LLC. And that tells me one of two things. Either they've done their homework, or they hadn't really thought about it, and they heard about an LLC and they think that it's really great. So LLCs are great if you have a small number of equity holders. If you have maybe between 5 and 20 people, an LLC is a good choice. You don't have that double taxation, but you have a good ability to raise capital, and you obviously can have more than one owner. Now, with an LLC, you kind of combine the benefits of a partnership and a corporation, and so I think it's one of the more accommodating vehicles if you have a small amount of equity holders. So it could be, if you have 5 to 20 people, an LLC might be your choice. With LLCs, you have to think about your operating agreement in terms of who are going to be the owners, how are they going to interact. So these are just some of the considerations, and you definitely want to do your homework before you choose your entity. My name is Olaide Banks again. I'm with Ngwolo and Banks, and if you have questions, you can ask me on my blog. My blog is at olaidebanks.wordpress.com. Thanks.